target stats, and we would tune and tweak the game to make sure those numbers matched up. And what we resulted in at the end of the day is one of the most balanced Maddens you will ever play. And I think, you know, RG's a hardcore tournament guy. I think he'd agree with me. We've all gotten beat by the computer on All-Pro this year.
Oh, man, you're going to ruin
You
my
almost
street
lost
cred.
on Pro that one time when we had that.
You trying to just kill my street cred completely out here, man?
All right, so we're in game now, so we can cut back to the game. We'll watch RG and AJ play here, and I'll talk about the features as we see them.
Little Nance and Sims.
Yeah, I don't want to blow the graphic guy's story here, but man, the game looks fantastic this year. They really brought their A game. They took your criticisms to heart that Madden 25 Gen 4 didn't look Gen 4 enough, and they really blew it out. I think you'll love the way the players look, the uniform, the lighting is just phenomenal versus last year. And obviously all the cameras with our new presentation director, Brian Murray from the NFL Films. Hopefully we get one of those new kickoff cameras here so you can see how cool it is. The whole game's being shot like an NFL broadcast would be shot. So there you see the new kicking arc. Allows you a little bit more control over ball placement. It lets you coffin corner a little bit easier.
Which you can turn off.
Yes.
See that question from a lot of people.
Yeah, it turns off by default on All Madden as well. Once you set the game to All Madden, we understand that, you know, you're an expert, so all the visual feedback disappears on All Madden by default, but you could set anything you want on any just by going to the settings menu.
And there you see as the quarterback runs out, I'm blowing presentation story here, but actual NFL Films footage, that's a really cool feature that everybody loves. One of the big things in game this year, there you see new play call. I won't go into this in detail. We have another dev blog or Twitch stream where we're going to talk about this in detail, but completely redone play call this year.
I like the little...
If you could hot route so we could see the delay icon.
Yeah.
That was Peyton. And there you can see that little icon light up that tells him he's communicating an audible. And when it's off, that means you can do another audible, so that's how that feature works.
So I can, oh, well, there's going to be a false start.
I see what you were getting. I see what you were getting at, though, and that's a really good point with the fake snap, I believe. More
now,
important than ever this year.
It's really interesting that just happened. I talked earlier about how we've tried to tune up the penalties, and what you saw right there is AJ did one too many hot routes, and as you saw in the Super Bowl, too many checks at the line and too many sort of communications. All of a sudden, the ball snapped over your head for a safety, as RG can refer to, which happened to him in the flag football tournament this year.
I caught you offside. So basically what happens when you fake the snap, it causes the other guy's controller to rumble, which is the same indication you get when they do snap the ball to try and jump the snap. So it's a nice way to trick your
It's more fantastic than ever. Fake snap is relevant in Madden for the first time, in my opinion. And it's fun.
Oh, I got Sanders. Can I get him?
Oh, good jump ball.
And that's one thing that's improved in Madden greatly this year with the pass coverage is defenders actually play the ball, and it feels great. You get those jump ball situations, and they aggressively attack it at the catch point. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite changes by far.
There's all new logic for them deciding whether to play a swat, a catch, or a hit on the receiver based on their position relative to the receiver, relative to the ball. Oh, big pass rush on the screen. He gets it off.
Oh.
And there's that conservative tackle. Whew.
RG's tough.
Still got it.
So I'm going with coach suggestions here.
One of the big things you guys are probably going to notice as you watch this is post-play. Everything that used to be an NIS or a scripted cutscene is now shot dynamically in real time. So you'll see all this action is happening dynamically on the field live. It's not a cutscene, and Brian Murray and our presentation team will shoot that live. They will cut to whatever player is playing the most interesting reaction. It flows really nicely. But the main thing is the players on the field are reflecting the emotion of the previous play.
Make use of that.
We haven't talked about it a whole lot. I'll show new animations to pre-play. We call it our pre-play fidget system. Previous years in Madden, what would happen is Once the players got in their stance, they would be completely static. They would just be stiff and sit there. And notice there's a lot of communication going around, a lot of movement, guys jawing at each other, giving signals to the backs. So as we watch this next play, pay attention to the activity there is. This is all part of player sense, making players feel alive, making them not feel like video game characters. You see there, the center looked back through his legs. There's the tackle, left tackle settling in. The right guard just settled into his stance.
So I jumped the snap correctly there, but I still didn't necessarily get a winner on the outside, so you're not guaranteed.
That's the ratings mismatch we talked about.
Yeah.
Was that Von Miller you're using?
No, I was using
That's what you get.
Where. I think it's time for Von Miller, though. I think you're right.
All right, he's bringing the heat, RG. Let's see what you got for him.
I'm just going to run the ball. I'm trying to pass rush me. I know better than to mess with Von Miller this year.
Oh, watch it. Oh, almost. But you can see right there, if you're watching the left defensive end, even in the run game, that jump snap can be a powerful tool. Almost got him from the backside right there.
How about some of the CA this year, Rex? It feels so much better when you're running with your ball carrier between the tackles.
Absolutely.
Between the center and the
Player
guard.
Sense 2.0. I know we just released the trailer and it's primarily focused on coverage, but make no mistake, contextual awareness or the ability to behave appropriately on a collision is now all over the field. We've done a lot of work in the past. We're running on routes and collided. They would either blip around each other or run into each other and look terrible. Now they actually play avoidance moves to get around each other. And the interesting part about it is a lot of it can affect route timing and stuff like that. So all these factors of collision and these intangible events that happen on any given football play are now reflected in the game, and they can screw up your route timing and change the way things play out. There you saw a new block shed mechanic that AJ did right there. Again, the important thing here is he got into a block, but he didn't feel powerless. If we can go into the replay here and take a look at that. This is a big thing for me. I didn't want people to feel like they always had to switch off as soon as you're in a block. So what he's doing here is he's a defensive end. His job is to set that edge. And Edge is here, and he uses the button and actually sheds the block with the left stick in the direction. So he actually ends up adding on to this tackle here. It's a nice, I wouldn't call it a gang tackle, but it's a nice three-man tackle. I know my Sim Standard guys are going to love to see that animation right there with multiple guys attaching on. We got a lot more work to do with gang tackles, but you can see it's gotten a lot better this year. But again, you don't need to feel powerless when you're engaged in a block this year. You can actually sit there, hold your gap, X in a direction to play a disengage or a block shed.
I keep getting late.
Didn't get open in time.
Too much time in the pocket by RG, didn't get that ball out quick enough. You also saw that AJ was late with the jump to snap, and he got completely crushed by the offensive lineman.
The new zone coverage logic had me messed up right there. That hook zone was all over my crossing route.
Actually, it'd be interesting if we could do a curl flat and show how the blue zone's played differently. You saw the box step. AJ was a little early there. Great play.
Some of those new SWAT animations are just amazing. In the
Let's
game.
take a look at this replay. There you go.
So nice.
So, RG, something I found out just literally the other day that you could do in the game was when you are on offense, one of those little things is you can actually swat the ball away with the wide receiver.
And that was something. Shout out to my dude Rex right here, because I didn't know if we were going to be able to get it into the game. But when we went after a whole new inaccuracy system, there's one thing that I didn't want to happen was for the offensive user to feel completely just helpless when the ball was going to the defender and they had the receiver and they knew they couldn't make a catch. So now you could actually click onto your wide receiver, hold the R1 button, and your receiver will swat the ball down to prevent the defender from making an interception. And it comes in handy, and it's actually something that takes a lot of skill. I mean, you need to be able to judge when, you know, can I catch this? I can't. And it's a really good feeling when you pull it off at the right time.
That's the first time in 2 years that I've seen RG not go for it on fourth down. By the way. This man is not Sim.
He wouldn't have gotten it.
Hey, it's only a 4 or 5 minute quarter game. I bet you Belichick's not punting in a 4 or 5 minute quarter game. It's not sim. I'm not sim. I'm just trying to justify it.
True story, when Cam Newton was here, he went for it on 4th and 13, and I said to him, Cam, that's not sim. And he's like, come on, coach, I need to go for it. And he ended up running triple option, and not only did he get the pitch off and get the first down, but he actually ran himself as Cam downfield and made a lead block on the play after the pitch. It's pretty impressive. I got a video somewhere.
So that right there was not the greatest pass.
By the way, and shout out to our good friend Ace Boogie Cam Newton. He has been a stellar partner for us this year. He's been down here 4 or 5 times. He was here yesterday playing in a mutt tournament against some of our mutt champions. There you can see that new pass rush. Applying some serious heat. If you saw there, he only had about 3 seconds to get that ball off. That is very realistic to an NFL blitz.
Yeah, one thing I love, Rex, this year is there's definitely a benefit to sending, 5 over 4 or 6 over 5. The more pass rushes, the quicker that heat's coming. And that, it seems like common sense, but that wasn't always something we delivered in Madden. For years, people would say, I get the same pass rush when I rush 4s, when I rush 5, and that's
I
not
need to see a replay on that. Man, there were some sick blocks on that play. Got to give a shout out to my boy Clint Oldenburg. Man, he has revolutionized blocking in this game. Let's take a look at that replay. See how this offensive line performed on this play. I know there's been some complaints with screen blocking, but let's take a look at these behaviors and how organic and natural they are. So there's our blocking core. Boom, flat back. 74 with a great cut block. And rewind that a little bit. Watch 29 actually reaching for the tackle while he's being cut. That arm came out. He knew the ball carrier was there, and he tried to make a play on him. That's what Player Sense 2.0 is all about. It's legit. It's the real deal.
Tried to stumble recover there, and I mistimed it, so he fell over just shy. Man, I almost feel like going for it too, but I'm more sim than RG.
Let's show the coffin corner. So this is how you coffin corner now. Previously, you had no idea where the ball was going to land. You see AJ here is positioning that arc to try and kick the ball out of bounds. He's a little shallow. Yep, that's returnable. Nice tackle in space. You can see that with the new tackling mechanics, he knows exactly what distance he needs to be to the ball carrier to hit that X button to make that play.
Going for the money play.
Outside run.
Better get in that outside run, D.
Oh, slow it down.
He's a little dinged up right there.
I'm going to get to him here in a second.
You keep talking, but I'm not. Oh, spin move! Oh. Beautiful catch. So let's look at this play and replay. This is phenomenal. Not only did we get a beautiful pass rush move with the spin move, but we actually also got an inaccurate pass that was caught. So let's take a look at the left end. You see him engaging there with the right tackle. He engages the outside shoulder. Look at the spin move back to the inside. Gets right around the back. Doesn't even see him. He reacts late. Take over. I heard some of you complaining in the forums about one of the trailers that when offensive linemen get beat, they just stand there, chop their feet, and stay upfield. Look at 24 and look at that right tackle. What are they doing? They're turning around and following that guy just like they would in real life. Now, the key here is because there was pressure in his face as he threw it, he got an inaccurate pass. I actually almost hit his arm, and you can see that the pass is inaccurate. And one of our new pass animations right here, it's out in front, but he's still able to make a play on it. You see the defender there's a little bit behind, tries to get a swat, doesn't get it. Big play, bailed him out of pressure right there. And that's a combination of multiple features working together in concert. The pass rush mechanics, the pass accuracy system, the new catch system, all coming together to make a beautiful looking play.
All right, Rex, do you want to see if we got some questions from the chat in here?
As long as none of those questions are about 2K football, the answer is yes.
All right, let's get to that here in a second. RG, if you guys want to go ahead and continue playing, and I'll ask the questions.
Sounds good.
People are wanting to see it. A lot of people asking, talking about the visuals, blitzes. When will the ratings come out? Soon. I will give you a soon.
Monday, Jenica says.
Monday. Not all of them, but some of them on Monday. Marcus is going to send me some questions. All right, Rex, the pressure's on now.
RG, come on. Hey, this ain't pressure.
EAN House Super Bowl champion, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, he just won the Gen 3 and Gen 4 internal Madden tournaments, but I can still take him to the woodshed in the weight room. So
Rex got that. He's a beast, man. Just look at the belts.
RG, can you try out the pass defense against out routes? Try that out.
Okay.
I kind of want to see. I kind of want to show people, because one thing that I've noticed a lot playing the game is that running zones, like, defenders are jumping those balls really quick and picking me off, especially on the higher difficulty level.
Yeah. For the viewers at home, we'll show you right now, but you're not going to have to worry about the out routes like you did in previous Maddens. The way flat zones play, the way buzz zones play, it's night and day. We'll
what do you want me to call here?
We'll give you a look right now. Go ahead and call it cover 3. Let's call it cover 3. I'll call it strong flood. That's a concept that everybody usually likes to run.
And again, I want to point out here that the game's getting more realistic, and for those of you that maybe aren't like massive like NFL buffs and you understand, we'll introduce all these concepts to you. It'll teach you how to read a zone pre-snap. It'll even teach you where the weak spots in the zone and what routes will beat it. So, if you're struggling with the game this year, 2 recommendations for you. Jump in Skills Trainer, and I would recommend starting the game on Pro until you feel comfortable with it. It is quite a bit harder this year due to the game becoming more realistic. And again, Skills Trainer will teach you all the tools you need to be successful in this game if you're willing to put the time in and learn them. Great mode, by the way. Great job on that by my buddy Danny Doberling, the producer, designer on that mode, and Vic Desperino, the engineer on that mode. By the way, everything in Skills Trainer was built by 2 people, and that's it.
Play offense.
As you can see right here, the X guy, the X slot receiver right there is in out route. I'm going to go ahead and call cover 3. I'm going to do a little protect the sticks just because I know that there's a swing route coming out there. I don't want the flat to drop down. So you go ahead and snap the ball, AJ. As you can see, he's all over that out route right there. And last year, that wouldn't have been the case on that play. That out route would have been open, and it was very frustrating trying to stop that. When I say zone cover, when I just say coverage in general is better this year, believe me, people, coverage is the real deal.
Yeah, if you're one of those people who just calls Hail Mary every play and tosses it up, you're going to have a bad time, okay? Learn to make good reads. Learn to make your slants, your quick outs, high percentage passes are critical this year. I would say running a balanced offense is critical this year. You got to have a running game to complement your passing game. RG, would you say that the old tactic of dropping everyone into coverage, is that less effective this year than it has been in the past, or less necessary?
Oh, yeah, so coverage defense has been an issue in Madden for years. People usually like to drop 10 defenders back, and a lot of people didn't know how to handle that. For some reason, you were still be able to stop the run out of those coverage defenses, which isn't something that would have happened in real life at all. Our dev team did a fantastic job of ensuring that the run game will be successful against those coverage defenses. So if you're seeing somebody and they're playing this 10, 11-man coverage against you, please call a halfback draw, run the ball. I guarantee you will have success this year.
All right. Will turbo blitzing be fixed in Madden 15?
It is absolutely fixed in Madden 15 due to the off-the-line mechanic. They no longer get that quick jump when you were pressing right trigger. It was something I checked right away, and that's definitely addressed in Madden 15.
I will say, like, we just had the MUT tournament yesterday, and one guy found a nano where he's like doing, I don't know, he must have done like 15 different pre-play adjustments, pinch the line, spread, slid, whatever he did. He found one. Our engineers are fixing it right now. We have gone out of our way to make sure that these exploits are out of the game this year. Part of it was just hiring guys like RG who come from the tournament circuit, are ranked players, but also, our game, the rest of the guys giving us feedback, telling us what was working, what wasn't working, and allowing the dev team to really hammer these exploits out of the game that is ruining online tournament play.
Is the pistol run still overpowering?
No,
One question.
So the pistol run, I don't want to say it's overpowered. It can still be effective, but with those new wide 9 type defenses, you could definitely look to lock those up. And pursuit has improved as well in Madden. So the bottom line is, before in Madden, you could get away with just running the same plays over and over again. But like Rex said, you need to run some read option. You need to run a little bit of off tackle out of it. You need to run the dive. You need to mix it up really well and kind of take what the defense is giving you. You're not going to be able to just go in, call a play blindly, run it against any defense and be successful. So my answer to that is it's effective, but it's definitely not overpowered.
Yeah, it's like our coaches tell us the pistol formation is here to stay. Like the Wildcats kind of came and had its moment, and now it's kind of less used. But all the coaches, Coach Madden, Coach Moore, all the people we work with tell us that the pistol is definitely big and it's definitely here to stay.
All right, so I'm gonna real quick. RG. Okay, so can you show an example of cover 2 in this game? This guy says it's never been quite right in his eyes. You guys, so he'd like to see cover 2.
Let's blow him away real quick because cover 2 is absolutely fantastic this year. So why don't you go ahead, Rex, call you a cover 2 zone right there.
If the number 2 receiver goes vertical, the corner should stay on top of the number 1 receiver. Also, there's no curl.
And let's take a look at that. Let's watch this. Rex is in the cover 2 right here. I'm gonna send this square receiver on the left on a fly route. Let's take a look. As you can see, the defender dropped back with him until he was passed off to that deep zone defender, where before he kind of presses him, lets him go, and doesn't float with him.
Now, can you call the curl in the flat?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, to answer his question, Rex, if you press the triangle button real quick, as you can see, we have coverage adjustments, and if you see by pressing triangle and then moving the right stick either up, down, left, or right, you can dictate what type of coverage your defense is going to play. So if you want your cover 2 corner to ride the receiver going up and continue to leverage them, you just press triangle up on the right stick, and that puts your defenders in an over-the-top type of coverage technique. So, and you could do that with inside. You could have your defense play a shade inside coverage technique, a shade outside coverage technique, play underneath, and it's one of my favorite features by far in the game.
Yeah, and one thing too, like that we're seeing in this game is we're playing with 2 of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Peyton Manning, arguably the best in the NFL. And so we're not seeing as many inaccurate passes. But when you start seeing those inaccurate passes, that's when you're going to see a lot more interceptions as well, too. And those zone defenses.
I see somebody on there said, did you fix 9? It definitely shuts it down. I also saw somebody say, did you fix trucking? We absolutely did. The truck glitch and the stiff arm glitch are out of the game. You won't see that anymore. So I'll just keep looking over my shoulder.
Deep zone. Okay, you can read these if you want.
One thing we'll do real quick, AJ, why don't you go ahead and call a pass play, and I'm going to call cover 2 with the over-the-top coverage adjustment, and you can see him kind of, ride him over the top, how that works.
What do you want me to call?
You could, send someone deep. Verticals is fine, if you find a vertical play maybe.
I saw somebody's asking about the zone chuck animations. I'll be on the lookout. When I see one, I'll hit the replay and we'll take a look at it.
So I'm going to call over the top right now. This is a cover 2 press. And let's see the depth at which my defenders drop at.
Who do you want me to throw it to?
You can go to, doesn't matter.
Oh,
As you can see, I don't know if we go into replay there, the flat zone defenders, after calling that, dropped back as far as 10 yards on that play, and that's because even though they're in flats, I called over-the-top coverage, so they have no problem dropping back that deep. I'm just going to go into replay real quick and show them.
We can try that again.
So as you just watch this guy, and he drops back at least 10 yards, and then you see him go and actually look for work as he sees someone come back into his zone. He'll go and play it. So
nice.
That was a great example of the mechanic working correctly.
Call a pass play. I want to see if we can get a zone chuck to play. I know you guys have seen it in the trailer video, but it's much more impressive when you see it in action. Outside of tossing it in his area, the key is that it can affect your route timing. So the timing that you'd expect to be there, if he gets chucked, the timing is going to get thrown off.
I'll let RG do it then. Throwing picks with Rivers.
Will there be team-specific plays and formations? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we've had that most years. There's some good stuff this year, especially in the defensive playbooks. We've done a lot of work. The emphasis this year was on the defensive playbooks, but the playbooks are pretty solid this year. I'm a huge fan of the Eagles playbook.
Oh, that Chip Kelly playbook's nasty.
You can still make defensive adjustments at the same speed. The audible delay only applies to offense. Oh, AJ just got owned.
Crushed. And that time I picked I picked a finesse move with a power guy.
Yep. And one thing, it's pretty minor, Rex, but it's just simply a bug fix that's going to make a big difference to some of the hardcore users out there. There used to be somewhat of a delay when you would kind of break the huddle and try to make a defensive adjustment right away. We worked with the engineers this year. That's gone. So it just feels as responsive as it can, and it's a great feeling. It really helps when you're trying to make defensive adjustments during the pre-play. Good grab swat.
So that's what we call a rip swat. It's basically a technique a defender can play to try to punch the ball out right at the catch point. Previous swats, he might just run over and swat the ball down. This is actually the ball's in the receiver's hands, and he can reach his hand in and try to punch it out. You see a lot of that from our higher-rated defensive backs this year.
Good tackle.
See if you can sit your linebacker shallow and get a zone chuck on a drag or something, or slant.
It's way, okay, let me punt the ball off to AJ.
Here, you can have the ball back. Keep sending us questions.
Yeah, so that question about if you only rush one or two players, we only support two linemen in a double team at any one time, but as soon as that guy gets off that block, a third lineman can come in and pick it up or knock him on his ass.
So the easiest way for us to get this zone check, I'm going to run the ball real quick. Why don't you come out in quarters, and I'm going to put myself in about a third and short, second and short situation here. And then we're going to run some drag routes. You're going to call cover two, and I want you to protect the sticks in that situation, and you're going to see that they come down and start pressing those drag routes. It's fantastic.
Player models are definitely not the same this year. I just got this question about player models are too bulky. The problem is last year we basically had one size fits all. And this year we've introduced something called body blends, which allows us to make, the arms bigger, the calves bigger. Johnny Manziel looks really tiny under center versus other guys. So we actually have done a lot of work on making players look like their actual selves. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. We have a long way to go, but you will see a lot of variation in players.
And let's press triangle, triangle.
All right, I'm protecting the sticks.
So we should get some chunks by the linebackers right here on, oh, gee. 2 minute warning.
I got it.
I just got a question about defensive assignments. It's very high on our list of full game assignments. Obviously, you can hot route those on a per play basis, but doing a full game defensive assignment is very high on our list of priorities that we want to get to. Not in this year. Oof, big pass rush.
You kind of saw it at the end right there.
Let's take a look in replay.
So, hopefully it still shows in the replay.
It's a nice two-man post-play action right there.
Hopefully
Yeah, I timed all of that right with where.
There's a zone, what we call a neutral, meaning he didn't really offset that guy's route too much, but some of the more severe ones, he'll, guys, this isn't the full implementation of the wide receiver D-back feature that you want. We're going big on that feature in the future.
All right. I'm about to try to score here, AJ, on this one, so.
All right.
I'm going.
Notice he says try, like there's just zero confidence. Do or do not.
Oh, no, I got hit. But I'm still
What
mossy.
a catch!
You know, we got drills and skills trainer that help you get your stick back up a little bit. You know.
I couldn't get my guy there. That was a nice catch, though.
I'm so excited for this game this year. I can't wait for it to come out, start playing people online. I think this is, like Rex said, I can't stress enough, this is probably the best balanced Madden that we've had ever.
Oh, what a play.
And
Good
you can be effective on defense, you can be effective on offense, you could pass the ball, you could run the ball. It's just really a fun game to play, and I really think this is the best one we've ever put out.
Yeah, this might not be the penultimate 90-plus rated Madden that you all want it to be, and believe me, nobody wants that more than us, but I will say that if you've been away for a while, maybe you've been away for a few years, you're not sure, I would actually tell you this is the year to come back. This is the year we kind of turn the corner and are heading back up in that direction to get this game where it needs to be. I strongly would encourage you to, if you're not going to buy the game, at least try it out. See for yourself. But we honestly believe, a lot of die-hard long-term Madden fans here, this is the best version of Madden we've ever built. It's not where we need to be yet, but it's certainly the best we've ever created.
It's fantastic.
Is there a picture drawing of you kissing your wife on your phone? All right, here we go. What else we got? So we're going to have to cut it off here pretty soon because the presentation guys didn't want it to blow their halftime story show. We got a new halftime show this year. It's pretty phenomenal. But we're going to cut it off just before we get to that.
Okay.
So hopefully somebody can actually...
Oh no, I got marked though. Then there's that jump break on the throw.
Let's take a look at that replay. I want to just show you, we talked of, previously tight ends getting off the line with a DN or a linebacker over them wasn't our best moment. So we'll take a look at it here and you'll see how player sense plays a factor here. We'll watch our tight end here releasing on this route. He's got to get past this DN. We didn't have a good solution for this before. Watch what happens now. They actually play an interaction. Look how quick that is. And there you see it right there.
Just waited too long on this one.
And there's RG, making a terrible... he talks a big game. I know he's been in the Madden tournament and all this stuff and winning tournaments, but plays like that, you got to wonder.
Jeez.
Any improvements to man defense? Absolutely. Basically, what happened is we built a whole new prediction logic for the pass they take to play the ball. So if he's even in position, like in trail and right on your hip and man, and you try to force that ball in there, he has the ability to undercut it and make a pick. Great swat on that play by the defensive back. You could see, some great momentum there. He was off balance and falling backwards, and he swatted, and you see his momentum carried him in. One of the features we haven't talked a lot about is organic falls this year. It's basically building a lot more momentum, get hit or collide, that they fall organically. We're no longer, those animations for falling are now physics-driven and organic.
Well, I'm throwing bad passes. Defense is tough, guys. That's a good thing, but I need some practice, Rex.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
I need to spend some time in the lab with RG here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get out there and just start chucking. You want to have a good scheme, and luckily in Skills Trainer, we teach you how to do that this year. For people that aren't familiar with it, we teach you all types of different pass concepts, and it's fantastic.
tackling actually feels really fun too when you make a nice open field tackle.
I was a big face flop with tackling, and this year I feel like I can make open field tackles all over the field. It's all about trusting that. It's like to compare it back to the vision cone thing. But trust me, if you leave, I strongly recommend you leave that tackle cone on for your first couple games until you start to get used to the distances to trigger your tackles. Once off in the settings, but it will make you a better tackler in Madden, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I would recommend everybody at least give it a week. Using it for the first week when we implemented it really helped me understand the mechanic and has really helped me master it. Kind of like I mastered my
RG, this guy wants to know if will purple zone stop deep corner routes?
Yes, absolutely, and especially if you use that outside coverage technique we talked about. You got those pre-play defensive adjustments, and that's exactly why they're there. If you know somebody's going to run a corner route, shade it to the outside, and they will leverage that corner route to the outside, both in man and in zone. The thing is, when you're in man, not just because you shade outside, though, doesn't mean, and we're about to go to halftime, let me stop so we don't steal their thunder.
You got to try and score. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, just because you shade somebody in man doesn't mean they'll necessarily lock that route up if they don't have the man coverage rating to do so. However, if you got a guy like Sherman and you shade to the outside, there's no way that corner route gets open.
Yep.
Very cool. Any more, guys, before we go ahead and...
Is hit stick still in? Yes.